Hi there, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry that I haven't posted in over a year, I think. I've been busy. I'm now on maternity leave, so I should have a little bit more free time to start posting a couple of videos a week again. Today's practice is going to be a mixture of yin and yang yoga. So we're starting with a little bit more movement, a little bit more flow, and then we're moving into a little bit of a slower yin practice. We're going to start off with our hands on our knees, and we're going to roll through the shoulders. So we start by drawing the shoulders all the way up towards the ears. Inhale at the top, exhale as you squeeze the shoulders back and down. Inhale to roll the shoulders forwards and up, and exhale to roll them all the way back and down. Allow yourself to continue this cycle, moving at your own pace, inhaling as you lift and exhaling as you drop back and down. As you drop back and down, think about releasing and relaxing. We squeeze up and we release away. Think about drawing any tension and just letting it go. Any tension from the week or the month that we've just had, and releasing it as we go into this new week and this new year. Last breath here. And we're going to move into the neck. This movement can be largely intuitive. You might start with very, very gentle neck circle, maybe clockwise to start, maybe anti-clockwise. We don't need to go the maximum range of motion. We're just thinking about bringing a little bit of movement. If that feels a little bit much for today, you might start at one side and just draw forwards and down and up to one side, and then over towards the other side. Exhale as you drop down. Inhale as you lift. Exhale to drop down. Inhale to lift. If that's a full circle, exhale to drop down. Inhale up and over. Exhale down. Inhale up and over. Last breath here. Well done. And then we find that lovely straight spine. Allow yourself to think about a stacking of the vertebrae. This allows movement of energy up and down through the body, through the torso. Just allow yourself to be here and breathe here. Pay attention to that breath. And when you're ready, we're going to take the left hand down to the floor. Slide it out lovely and long. Reach the right arm all the way up and over. And just stretch through the side body. It might feel right to face towards wherever the heart is shining, or it might feel okay to look up to that top right hand. We're going to use the abdominals here to rain that arm all the way up and over and swap sides. You might look forwards, or if the neck allows, you might trace a line with the eyes up to the hand. Think about rooting your hip down to the ground, reaching your fingertips up towards the sky. Use the abdominals, find height and length, and we swap sides again. We keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. Think about bringing length, bringing openness into the body, stretching the body in any way that feels right for you. It should feel really nice to bring that length into the side body. We're not pushing the body further than we feel comfortable with. We're just inviting space and openness. And then find length. We're going to draw both arms up towards the sky. Drop the arms behind you, interlace and open your chest. If it feels okay for you to do so, you can keep your arms interlaced whilst you send both legs along. We're going to dorsiflex the feet, meaning we shine the soles of the feet forwards. We keep the knees around a fist's distance away from one another. We release the arms back up towards the sky. Inhale, and then exhale, twist to one side. Open the chest. We don't want to push too firmly into that inner leg. We just want a gentleness, gradual opening here. We'd like to think of it more as an opening to one side as opposed to closing off one side. And other side when you're ready. Now, if you feel comfortable, we're going to lift both arms. We're going to slide the right leg up towards you. We're going to place that right sole of the foot over the left leg's thigh, and we're going to wrap that arm around. So we're opening up to that right side of the room. There is a very gentle drawing of that leg in towards you. We open our heart space. If you feel comfortable, you could even take that back arm away and draw an even deeper twist. This is going to feel really nice through the outer glutes, the outer thigh. Find length, find openness. The sole of the foot is down, and the sole of the left foot shines towards that wall in front of you. We can make that really intentional. Think about your heel trying to reach forwards, your toes trying to reach up, and that will allow not just to stretch throughout that right leg here, but stretch all the way down the back of that left leg as well. Breathing deeply. Even though we're in a twist, we're breathing just as fully, just as openly as if we were forward facing. Often when we are in deep twists, it can be tempting to constrict the breath or make the breath fit around the movement. Instead, we want to make our movement work around the breath. Inhales lift you. We fill the belly like a balloon. The exhales might deepen you physically. They might just deepen you into the practice. Each breath carries you deeper into relaxation, physically and mentally. Down. When we're ready, we're going to draw the arms up. You might use your hands to help your leg go back to its original position, or you might feel comfortable just to extend it long and swap sides. I'm going to gently wrap that arm around the leg. We draw it gently in towards us. We open the heart space towards that left side of the room, and we can wrap that left arm around the leg as well, if we would like. We would like to think about comfort here rather than pushing the body past its limits. So if it feels uncomfortable on your hip, you might think about sliding the foot a bit more forwards. You might think about more of an open twist, like so there is no pressure on that outer leg. Make it your own. Think about what works for you. And just because it felt right on one side doesn't mean that it is necessarily going to feel right on both sides. So we want to really listen to the body, respond to what your body needs in that moment. Find height, find depth, work around your breath. The breath will bring relaxation to the physical body. So we want to think about inhaling length and exhaling to release away tension. Deepening in. And that tension that we release is not just from the glutes, thighs, the target areas. It's from the shoulders, from the forehead and the jaw, cheeks and the eyelids. Everything softens every time we breathe out. There's a constant releasing and letting go. And the inhales allow us to focus and hone in more on the present. We focus on the sensation of breath drawing in, how it might feel as it floods into that area of the body, nourishing, how it might affect the sensation of stretch. Well done. When we feel ready, we draw both arms, both legs and long. We're going to forward fold over, but we don't want to think about just completely melting over the body here. We like to bring length, and we like to allow a softness behind the knees here. So we open through the chest, soft through the knees. We're bringing length through the torso, and we're melting down slowly. We can keep the feet as gently flexed as feels comfortable for us. That will enhance the sensation of stretch all the way through the backs of the legs. So we're not just focusing on the upper legs here. That deep flexion in the feet allows you to tailor how much we focus on the lower leg as well. Well done. We're going to come all the way up and onto our fours, all fours. We draw the wrists directly underneath the shoulders. We draw the knees directly underneath the hips. And we're just going to come into a little cat-cow here. Inhale deeply. Exhale, shine your tailbone down towards the floor. Roll through the vertebrae one by one. Push the ground away and exhale. As you inhale, we shine the tailbone up towards the sky. We roll through the vertebrae. We open the chest. Exhale, tuck your tailbone down. Roll through the vertebrae. Find length, find openness. Keep the abdominals gently lifted even as we go into the cow portion of our cat-cow. So as we lift like this into our cat, we round the spine, and naturally the belly will often lift with the movement. But as we come into our cow, we want to keep the belly taut. This is going to help encourage that sensation of stretch all the way from the base of the belly to the base of the chest. And it should feel really lovely. Last breath here. Well done. From here, we're going to take our right arm and plant it down. Bring the left arm around a hand's width out in front and sink your heart space to the floor. Drop your crown and just stretch through that side body. Breathing deeply, we're going to swap sides. Plant the opposite palm down. Reach the left arm out in front. Sink your heart space down towards the floor. You might melt your right elbow to the ground. You stretch through the armpit. Well done. Draw yourself up nice and tall. This time we draw both palms out in front, aligned with the shoulders, so they're just directly around a hand's distance out in front of the shoulders. We're going to sink the heart space down towards the floor. Melting heart pose. We're stretching through the shoulders. Well done. Make your way all the way up, forward and down. We lower ourselves down onto our forearms here. We're just focusing on length in this movement. We're not here for too long. We gently engage through the quads, through the calves, point the toes, lengthen the crown forwards. Imagine someone is pulling your ankles back. And we gently press into the ground with the forearms. Inhale deeply here. Maybe we stay here. Maybe we press into the fingertips, opening even more. You might begin to bring a little bit of movement here. Exhale down. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale down. Inhale, open the chest. Last one. Well done. Gently drop all the way down to the floor. Tuck the toes. And we're going to come into our first downwards dog. Make your own comfortable transition. If you're wearing socks, this might be a good time to take them off. Begin to pedal through the feet. You can tell it's been a while since I've done a downwards dog. Just taking this time for yourself just to feel into the body. You might sway your hips side to side. Really spread the fingers wide. Soft bend in the elbows, opening out through the chest here. And then we invite stillness. With that stillness is a silent strength. So we're not thinking about just relaxing into the pose with stillness. Instead, there's this static energy beginning to build. So we think about pushing into the fingertips, allowing the heels to drop as far as they like. There's a soft bend in the knees, but the hips are being lifted up and back towards the wall behind you. When you're ready, we trace a line with the left leg towards the sky. And we plant it between the two hands. We drop that back knee, top of the back foot. Plant that hand down and open up towards the side of the room. Really think about pushing your hand down. Fingertips are spread wide. Amazing. Drop that hand down. Plant it next to the foot. Step it back to your downwards dog. And we swap sides by lifting the opposing leg, planting it down into your low lunge. Open through the chest. We drop that back knee, top of the back foot. Plant one hand down and peel your chest open like a bow and arrow. You might look up towards that hand. Well, that might feel a bit too intense for today. If so, just shine your heart space and then look towards wherever your heart space is shining towards. Hand drops down, tuck the back foot, lift it up into your downwards dog. And from here, we're coming into our first yin movement. So we're going to lift the left leg, trace a line with that knee forwards, touching the left knee, and then dropping that back knee down, like so. So this is the slightly more advanced version of the pose. So I'll show you this first, and then if we need an alternative, I will show you an alternative. So in this version, we don't need that perfect Ekapada. We don't need foot flexed, shin squared off. We don't need hips perfectly aligned. Instead, in yin, the foot can draw in towards the pelvis if we like. The shin can be off center. The hips can fall to one side if they naturally dip. And we can melt down towards the ground in any way that feels right for us. Now, if this is a bit too much for today, you absolutely can come onto your back and hook your ankle over your knee instead. You could step your foot in towards you so it's a little bit more intense as well. So do whichever feels more right for you today. If you have a bolster, feel free to bring the bolster into your practice by drawing it lengthways and then just relaxing your body on top of the bolster. Make it your own. And as this is a yin pose, we're going to be here for a few minutes. That can often spark a little bit of intensity when we first hear that. The body can begin to tense up because we think, I don't want to be here for a few minutes. That's a very natural response. So what we're going to do is start with what we can control, which is the body. We find any areas in the body that are resisting the pose that don't need to be, and we just soften them down. That might be the shoulders, it might be the hips. You might release any tension from the forehead, the jaw, the back, the belly. When we are in poses like this, often the resistance towards the pose, from the muscles, from the mind, can make the pose feel more intense, which makes the pose feel less enjoyable. So what we're doing in yin is just releasing away resistance. We first release resistance from the body, as this is what we can control in yin. Taking the physical and allowing it to relax down. And in time we find that this begins to translate to less resistance within the mind, more relaxed energy, moving more into that energy of surrender, stillness, that energy where we get to be and exist without doing anything at all. When we move into that energy, the time flies in each pose. So when you're ready, we walk the hands up. We're going to tuck that back foot. And we move out of yin poses in a very different way to how we move out of yang poses. We slide slowly, we listen to our body. We're not thinking about flow. We're not thinking about aesthetics or making it look the same on one side as the other. We're just listening to our body. Similarly, when we move into the pose on the other side now, we don't have to think about transitioning in a flow way. You can absolutely go from downwards dog, But if it feels more right for you, you can just ease that knee forward. You could travel across, you could send that leg back, and if we're on our back equally, you can just swap legs, crossing one knee or crossing one ankle over the other knee. Once you've found your perfect version of this pose on the other side, we begin to invite that sensation of surrender back into the body, whether that looks like melting a little bit to one side, melting forwards and down with the heart space, relaxing over a bolster. However it feels for you, wherever you naturally fall, that's your perfect position. It will look different week on week. Or if we haven't practiced in a while, it will look different year by year. Focus on releasing and relaxing wherever we can. Allow the breath to be slow. Allow the muscles to be soft. Allow yourself to be present. Allow yourself to take this time for you, releasing the day just gone, releasing the day to come, and allowing this chapter, this practice, to be a standalone moment in time where you get to just exist without any attachment to the prior or what's to come. We're just existing, experiencing sensations, observing the breath going in and out of the body, releasing and relaxing. Yin is a meditative practice, and it can be really powerful, as not only are we allowing that meditative state to bring calm, to bring stillness, to shift our energy into that yin-like state, energy of being, but we're doing all of that whilst releasing tension from the body. Naturally, as we release these tensions, they might arise into the mind. So it just gives us all the more chance to practice observing thought and returning to present. When you're ready, we're going to walk the hands gently underneath your shoulders. Slide as slowly as you can, gently up into the seated position. You might use your hands to move